Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to give you a quick rundown of the changes coming in the game update 44725 of Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. So of course the Lords of the West DLC has been released a few days ago, and this brought the Sicilian and Burgundian factions, but I will do separate videos on those because they deserve a more detailed look on them, because they're quite interesting. More on them coming in the future. So of course there is another event again. You can play some missions, get some profile icons and so on and so forth, but I will just keep the focus here on the balance changes. First of all, while this is not really affecting balance, you can no longer see where you place your foundation. But talking about Parasite Walls, the Parasite Walls and Parasite Gates now have 40% decreased hit points in the Dark Age, so this should make just fully walling up and doing a fast castle or a fast imperial even quite a bit more risky in the early stage of the game. After we saw the amazing display of skill in cavalry archer usage by Dowd in the Red Bull World Tournament lately, now us normal mortals can play them again as well. They have been disappearing from the meta quite a bit, I think, but now with their attack delay being decreased by 11.5%, this should give them quite a edge and very nice surge in popularity. Also, Dreadnought Crane now is no longer available to Franks, Khmer and Slavs, but now going into the Civ specific changes. Bulgarians, well, that is more than a bug fix than a balance change. The dismounted Conic now has a lower line of sight than the mounted Conic. For the Burmese, the Arambai, so their unique unit, has been retouched. If they now miss a shot, they used to deal 50% of the damage. Now each shot missing and hitting another target instead will deal full damage, but the full damage quote unquote has been nerfed quite a bit from 17 and in basic and 19 in elite form. You now get 12 and 15 damage for those, and also the reload time of the Arabai has been unified from the elite and standard Arabai. The Franks have not only lost access to Treadmill Crane, but also have been nerfed in the foraging department. They have only 15% fast instead of 25% faster forages. Again, Franks are quite oppressive, probably a good idea to nerf them somewhat. The Huns have gotten a very interesting change, another one which is I think in line with a lot of the recent changes and balance changes, is that they're not nerfing or buffing simple stats, but making these civs more interesting and more viable that way. In this case, Atheism, which has been called the worst technology not only by TOS, but I think everybody else pretty much agreed on that, now is not really that useful either, but at least it can increase the gold income of enemy relics, so at least it has some use, which is nice. It can annoy your opponent, especially Aztecs. So it is still kind of a trolling strategy to go for the Atheism, but yeah, it's actually quite fun. The Italians, they lost the 50% cheaper prices in dock packs, decreased to 33%, but now they also get 33% cheaper technologies in the university, so their tech reduction has been broadened a little bit. Also, the Junior Crossbowmen now costs only 40 instead of 45 gold, a very welcome buff here. Koreans have received access to the elite cannon galleon technology. There might be situations where this actually does have an effect. In most games it will not be too important though. The Mayans have lost the obsidian arrow, so another technology which allowed you to have non-siege units be more effective against buildings. Like the Arabai lost a good amount of their attack damage. Now obsidian arrows, which gave your archers extra damage against buildings, has been removed, and we got the Hulche Javeliniers, which gives their skirmishers a second projectile each time they fire. That's interesting. Ooh. I have to see how effective that actually is in game, because that is another one of those things which is kind of hard to pin down to the effectiveness until, well, you have seen some games with them. The Saracens have received a buff as well, while they lost their Civ specific bonus that their archers gain bonus damage against buildings, again in line with the other changes here. Their team bonus has been increased slightly, so foot archers now deal +2 damage against buildings instead of +1, but yeah, it will help you out, but should not be as oppressive as previously. And now the zealotry tech has been made cheaper, 250 food and 250 gold cheaper, that is, but it only grants 20 hit points. The thing is, Saracen camels have plus 10 hit points from the get-go now, so they are stronger at the point at the beginning, and they're cheaper to upgrade to the same level as they have been before, so very welcome change there. Saracen camels, I would like to see some more of them. Looks like we're gonna see some. Last change on the list are the Taatars. They were quite good at booming, quite OP some might say. So I lost the additional sheep in feudal age, only starting in castle age now, and also only spawn on newly constructed, so not only a starting PC at this point. The Kashik has been nerfed as well. The food cost was 50, now is 60. I personally did not experience the Kashik to be too good. It was a fun unit, but not in my book. There were other units which were more problematic in Taatar unit compositions. But yeah, if the Tatars are too good, it probably can't harm to nerf the units, right? Anyways, this was all of the balance changes. There are also 4 new maps with the African Clearing, Amazon Tunnel, Atacama, Coastal Forest, and Seize the Mountain, which were actually 5 new maps, so that's that. Anyways, I wanted to keep this relatively short and crisp, so I'm gonna say goodbye at this point. Thanks for being around, see you next time. This has been Luckily